This is Kat Sturtz from rockingyourpath.com with another episode of Fast Action Fridays. Today is my special guest, Nika Stewart, who I know from the Front Row VIP group, which is one that Jen Lehner has. It's fabulous, and there's so many great people in there. Welcome to Fast Action Fridays, Nika. Can you tell everybody a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm really thrilled to be talking about something that's fast action, because that's really the theme of what I want to talk about. My background is in entrepreneurship, and I've had my own business for 30 plus years. And about 11 years ago, I launched a social media agency. So I help people do social better, bottom line.
Oh, and we can always do that better. And today I know we're going to focus on some of the tips you have for creating a month's worth of social media content in just a day. I don't do that very well, so I'm looking at these tips too. My life at my age is really flexible, and I kind of avoided that, even though I know it would be productive for me. So lead us into that. Why would we want to do that?
When I ask people about their challenges with marketing and with social media, the two biggest things that come up are, actually there's three if you combine them, time and consistency. And then writing the content comes up too. It's like, I don't have enough time to write good content, and I don't have enough time to be consistent. So it's time, writing content, being consistent. When you put that all together in spending a few hours, and when I say create a month of content in one day, it's actually less than a day. You can do this in just maybe three to 4 hours once a month, writing and getting your content done for the month. It not only saves you time because you're focused, it's time batching and you're focused and you do it all at one time, but you are certainly consistent because you now have posts for the whole month. You don't go a week or two and say, oh yeah, I forgot to post. But it also takes away all of that stress and that guilt of, I know I should be, but I'm just not getting to it. So it kind of combines all of the things that we want in marketing ourselves and takes away all the stuff we don't want. So if you do this once a month, you get results and you feel great.
So where are we posting all of this social media content? Is it like a Facebook page or a group or Twitter, or does it cover, all of our social media platforms that we're involved with?
Well, yes. And perhaps when I work with people, especially in the beginning, if they're just getting started or learning to get better on social media, I tell my clients to choose one platform, one place in the platform. So it's either I'm going to go all out on LinkedIn, or I'm going to use Facebook and choose either a business page or a group. So you choose, and that is based on a few things. Number one, what is appropriate for your industry? Where are your clients hanging out? What do you love? If you can get the intersection of what you enjoy, the culture of the platform that you enjoy, and your customers, your potential customers are hanging out there, then that's the perfect place to be doing this.
And my followers know, for me, that's primarily Facebook. I know a lot of people hate it. I don't. I filter out and scan right by the things I don't like, and don't participate in politics on social media. So it doesn't bring me down the way it does many others. Besides time and flexibility, consistency, are there any other major hangups that the people you deal with point to?
Yes. One of the biggest is knowing what to post, where to get content, and how to post to get people interested in their products and services without being promotional and salesy all the time and icky. People say, like, I don't want to look icky. I don't want to be sleazy, but I want people to want my stuff. So yes, a huge challenge is how to write content that attracts people and gets people not only interested in your products and services, but so excited that they want you to post more. People say, I don't want to post too much because I don't want to bother people. Well, if you're posting content that bothers people, you're posting the wrong content. You want to post in a way where people say, I want more content from them because it's entertaining, it's valuable, it's inspiring, it makes me want more. And if you're not at that place, start there, come up with content. And I don't mean just, hey, good luck. That's what we work on. Like we come up content that people want to see. And one of the first places to start is sharing. Sorry. I don't get phone calls either, so I'm sorry.
This is live. We tape this live, folks.
I don't. So one of the places to start is share yourself. Instead of focusing so much on sharing your products and what you're selling, share yourself. The world needs more of you. And if you're thinking that isn't true, you're wrong.
And I know because we hear each other talk about business and our lives and our struggles and all kinds of things. I know you're not talking about the endless supply of selfies that some people do.
Right.
It's like,
exactly.
Some people are very consistent, but it's like, what possesses you to need to see your face all the time?
Yeah. And sometimes that is appropriate, but it isn't about, hey, look at me. What I'm doing in my life is so fabulous that you should all just listen to me talk about myself. When I say share you, I don't really mean talk about yourself. I mean, share your personality and your passions and your interests in a way that connects with other people. So you, of course, need to be interested in other people. Mm-hmm. And in order for them to be also interested in you and for them to see that you're interested in them, you can't be like surface level talking about products. You need to talk, you need to be a person. When you walk into the room and meet people, you don't walk up to people and say, this is what I sell. It's $15. Are you interested? You say, hi, how are you? And that's the way you need to come across on social media. Be yourself, share things that get people to connect with you and want to hear more. Talk about them. Don't just talk about selling your products and services. And by the way, sharing yourself and connecting with people gets people to want to buy your products and services.
Or want to see and read your next post if they see it in your feed, like on Facebook. I know for me, where I don't have a system to have a lot of this done ahead of time, people know me for my baby animal photos that I share, or geeky science. Or food fun, creativity alert. So there are, I think I have 5 different topics that I'm always sharing that represent what I'm interested in. So that would kind of fall into showing people what your passions are, what you're interested in. And then I can throw in some about some business things once in a while, or like when I'm interviewing fabulous guests for Fast Action Friday. Is that the type of sharing of yourself you're talking about?
Absolutely. So you're talking about personal branding. So people get to know you, Kat, as someone who likes these certain things that I might like as well. Or even if I don't have the same passion, I get to see your enthusiasm and your passion for something. And that makes people want to work with you, or makes people not want to work with you. And that's cool too, because you would not have a good relationship with people who don't connect with who you are. And you can also relate things like, you have a passion for animals, tiny animals. Great. There are ways to talk about how that relates to how you help people in your business. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a distinction. And this is what I work on a lot with my clients, is there's no distinction between, look at my sweet kitten who's curled on my lap, and this is how I help my clients market their business. There is a way to actually tie it together so that you're promoting your business without selling, and you sell because you just share in that way.
Yeah. The Purgatory Relief Coach, for people who think marketing is hell, loves that advice.
Good. I love that.
I want to remind viewers and listeners that we have a free resource special from Nika. It's social media daily checklist. So be sure to watch in the description, or if you're on the blog post below the video for the link to that. All right, let's jump into some meat. What should we look at to be able to do what you're advising, where we can actually have a lot of this pre-done for us in a single setting?
Yeah. So the first thing you do is you take out your calendar, which could be a digital calendar. It could be a blank piece of paper, whatever works for you, where you're going to do your planning. And you start by deciding what your theme of the month is, what your objective for the month is. I work with people who say, well, I don't really have something new coming out and I don't have a new objective. Can my objective be the same every month? Yes, it can be. But knowing that you have an objective or a theme really makes coming up with posts easier, because you're taking a blank piece of paper and saying, okay, what should I post? My choices are every single thing in the entire world, or narrow it down to a theme. It's so much easier to think, oh, now I can come up with content that focuses. When you focus your mind and your writing, much easier and quicker. So you know your theme, and themes can be, I'm going to launch a new program in a few months, so I want to start seeding. I want to start putting out information that's related to that, so people see me as an expert in that area. Or I just want to keep building my thought leadership and have people see me as an expert. Or I want to talk about a book I read a book and this is so exciting to me. I want to focus on that. It can be anything. So when you have a theme, there you go. It's so much easier. And then you realize you have categories of posts. So your categories, I divide them into 7 different categories, but to make it easier, I've combined those 7 even into the top 3. Is that bothering you, the dinging? I'm sorry.
If you could turn it off, that would be great. I know we even discussed this earlier. We thought we had all of the chimes.
I thought, and yes, so of course people want to, they're contacting me all over the place. Okay, I think all my dings are turned off. So narrowing your focus even further to categories of posts, the top 3 are community, authority, and personality. The CAP, I call them, CAP. Community type posts are posts that encourage engagement and other people to join in. Authority are the posts that show off your expertise. Once in a while, you're promoting specifically your products and services. And personality are more specifically showing your personal branding off. I like to write these community, authority, personality across the top of my calendar and divide them by days. Not that you have to be so strict. And on Mondays, I'm only doing personality. On Wednesdays, you don't have to be that strict, but it makes it easier to focus. So I'm going to do a few community. I'm going to make sure I do a few authority. I'm going to make sure I do a few personality. And when you have that written down, again, you're focusing even further. If you choose, you can focus even further by choosing weekly themes. Once you have that, your monthly objective, your at least 3 different categories, and your weekly themes, you now have very specific themes and ideas to focus on as you go to write your posts.
It's like having a pantry full of your favorite foods and the staples in your kitchen. So it's so much easier to walk in and say, I can make almost any kind of meal because these things are already in place for me.
Yeah, I love that. It's kind of, so it's the difference between going into a giant mega grocery store and saying, here, I need you to make me dinner, go. Well, where do I even start? And having purchased these specific ingredients for your favorite meal and putting them on the counter. In fact, you even rationed out, okay, I need 1.5 cups of this. And it's all they're laid out and ready for you. When you go sit down to now write your posts, it's all prepared for you.
So you have a mise en place for social media
content. I love that. I need to steal that.
And listening to this reminds me that how well this works, not only for social media, but if you're looking for ideas on what to blog about or to email your subscribers, you're using that same information. So you're repurposing this effort that you're spending 2 to 3, 4 hours on putting together for the month and really maximizing the effect of what you're doing.
Yeah. And you saying repurposing, that's the way to leverage your time even further. So just because you wrote a Facebook post, take that. If you can expand on it, write a full article for your blog and a newsletter, and take the words and put them into a program online that turns it into a video, make a few graphics out of it. And now you've spent a day writing a month of posts, but you probably have 3 months of posts if you actually repurpose in that way.
Yeah. I also have learned over time that once you focus something like this, where you may have gone in with few ideas, just the process of doing it prompts more ideas to come, focused on that particular category or theme or topic at hand. Do you find that true too?
Yes, absolutely. I think sometimes it's just that we just sitting down and doing it opens our minds to new ideas. And the fact that you're thinking like, oh, if you say, I never thought about coming up with weekly themes, the fact that you're doing that, like you said, opens up ideas for so many more things. Absolutely.
What is it important that we pre-schedule this out or just have it ready to create day of?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And it's either way works, and it depends on you and your needs. I personally love to pre-schedule. So I oftentimes use Hootsuite and go in and take the written posts. And actually I write them in Hootsuite. So one of the steps is to pre-schedule if you want to, but I don't even need that step because when I'm writing, I actually write them in Hootsuite and then just click to schedule. So I save a little time there. The reason I like that is because it takes the stress off of me. I never have to worry, did I post today or where is that post? Or it saves me time and it saves me stress. But there are reasons to post natively in the platform. There are many reasons there are several reasons for that. So if you prefer that, just make it work for you. Have the post written on either a text document or a Word document or in Google Docs, wherever is convenient for you. And perhaps you have your calendar set off a little alarm at 9:30 a.m. on 3 or 4 days a week that you plan on posting, and it goes off and you go grab it, copy, paste it, and there you go. I prefer to pre-schedule, but that's my personality because then I want to log on. It doesn't mean that I don't log on to social media because social media is not all about broadcasting. You have to go and engage and join conversations. And if you don't do that, you're missing out on a huge part of the growth of social media. But having the post pre-written for me takes that stress away and allows me to really enjoy the fun of the engagement part.
That's such great advice. When did this idea of batching this way, when did it hit you that it was a good way to go?
That's interesting. So it was about 11 years ago when I started my social media agency, and I had to, in order to grow, it couldn't just be me doing posts for clients because I realized quickly I reached my maximum. So in order to add on employees and train them, I wanted them to do it the way that I knew was working. So I had to come up with a system in order to train other people. They don't know what's in my head. So I had to map it out. And it just seemed to be the only way to train other people to do it. Not every morning go through this list again. No, let's do it. We have things that we have to do daily, but there are things that our employees do weekly, and there are things that they do monthly. And the pre-research, and we don't do this for all our clients. Some of them need more timely and time sensitive things and need it daily or weekly. But the clients who are in our basic levels and are paying less, in order for us to get more done in less time, but give them the value, it needed to be batched that way. And so since we do that for our clients, now that I have a membership where it's, rather than done for you, it's teaching you how to do it, I figured I'll just tell them my secret. This is how it works.
And we're glad you did. And not only is this for a solopreneur working with their own small business, maybe from a home office, which most of my followers are, this batching idea is instrumental across the board for larger corporations and people who are ready to hire somebody else to help them manage this and prepare this and get it all posted, correct?
Yeah. And the system in my mind, am working mostly with the solopreneurs, but systems and batching, really, it's how you grow and scale. So obviously it's the only way to grow, to be a bigger company. It saves time and it allows you to get help and grow.
Right. We know that there's only 3 ways to improve your bottom line, and that's to get new customers, sell more to existing customers, or cut expenses on the back end. And batching is one of those things that saves time and can save money too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, time is money.
Yes, it is. It's the one thing we can't get back if we waste it.
So true.
We're winding down. Is there any nugget of information that people need to be specifically aware of? Maybe a point of contention of what not to do, or make sure you do, or how long to give yourself to get in the habit of batching and being more consistent in what you're doing? Maybe how long it takes to actually see some results of what we're doing?
Yeah. You don't always get results the first time you post something, even if it's like, oh, this would be a better post for you. You go post it. It doesn't mean you suddenly sell a million things. And you know that. It doesn't work like overnight. However, I am so delighted to see that when people actually change from a stiff professional type of post to a more casual, personality-based post, almost all the time, they see an immediate difference in the reactions and engagement that they get. Imagine if you did do that over time. So if you get, and if you get 1 or 2 more engagements with one time you post, and some people, last week I did a challenge and people went and posted this and said, a few people said to me, did you go in and do something to make us get 90 reactions? Because I've never gotten more than 2 before. I said, did I go in? Like, did I sneak into the back end of your account and do something? No, what I did was told you what works. And then you went and implemented it. And look, it works.
It is.
So yeah,
it's an intangible sometimes to track immediately. I know I've got clients and past clients where it was sell, and every post, the desperation was there, or some that, was buy my stuff because I need money. It's like people don't invest in a sinking ship. Quit being a sinking ship. What you've got to offer is valuable. Let's focus on that. And we didn't do what you're suggesting, which is batching their content, but changing from the sell to the community and the personality, and what was the A, the action? Authority. Took him from being a struggling artist who'd never sold anything to going full time with it.
How beautiful.
So I understand the power behind the nuances in presenting yourself and what you sell. Because that's why we're in business. If we don't sell, we're not in business very long.
It's true. I mean, we do have to make money for it to be a business, but it's almost counterintuitive how we market our businesses online. But once you do it for a while, and everyone is different, once you do it for even, let's say, a few weeks of writing a more personality-based post, even with your community and authority post, it's still coming from you as the person. It becomes more natural to you. Mm-hmm. And especially when you see better results, you want to do it more.
Oh, absolutely. It's exactly how I help my marketing clients that are afraid of marketing. It's like, quit thinking you have to do marketing in ways that you don't like, let's scale that back and find ways to market yourself that feel comfortable, that feel organic to you, that that really help you reach the people that you're meant to reach. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today. This has been fabulous information. Remind everybody to check the description or below the video on the blog post for Nika's free resource, Social Media Daily Checklist, 5 effective tasks to do daily to see results. And you said it takes 20 minutes or less a day to do that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just follow the system.
That's great information. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And this is Kat Sturtz from rockingyourpath.com, closing another episode of Fast Action Fridays. Remember to join me next week when I will have another great guest. Until then, remember to keep rocking your unique path to success. Bye-bye. Yay!